Ask for a name of an all-time men's coach in the state of Georgia, you'll hear McGill, Diaz, Shelton. Ask for their female counterpart, and you get
Ruth is really one of the all-time contributors to the growth of the game of tennis.
I just think of Ruth pretty much as a pioneer of the development of women's tennis.
Nobody's had an impact on young women's tennis in Georgia the way Ruth has.
Ruth Lay wasn't fooling around on the tennis court. She was interested in coaching the best, and she did. Tracy Austin, Andrea Yeager, Nancy Juergen, Wendy White.
Well, Ruth was just a great motivator for a lot of junior tennis players in Georgia. She helped me so much transitioning from just knowing how to play tournaments and instructing me with my game, but also knowing what tournaments to play and how to get a junior ranking, and also to work my way into the professional tennis circuit and get a ranking there. And so she really helped a lot of girls in Georgia throughout her years to develop their games and also to earn college tennis scholarships as well.
She was an outstanding coach, primarily for the top young women that played in Georgia and throughout the South. And she coached them, traveled with them in tournaments. I mean, the players are very successful. She would travel with them to Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, around the world, actually coaching them and guiding them and getting them into tournaments.
Ruth Lay was better than a pretty good player, winning 80 tournaments as an open and senior player in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. She was #1 in the state and in the South along the way. She was a certified club pro, and she also envisioned league play long before there was an Alta.
She organized league tennis before anybody ever heard of it. Had these different clubs playing each other in the 60s, kind of the forerunner of Alta. She was helpful to Charlie Cox and others as Alta got going.
But she was best with a bucket of balls and a young woman across the net.
Exceptional coach on the court, and just loved the junior girls, and supported their play and supported their ability to get on teams. And Ruth coached the Junior Whiteman Cup teams for the USTA and had a lot of terrific players.
Junior tennis just took a jump up when Ruth was working with the juniors and kind of getting everything going. Back then there wasn't much junior tennis going, and then having a couple of the juniors be good enough to go on the tour like Nancy and Wendy White did.
She helped tremendously with the USTA and getting girls to be a part of the Junior Whiteman Cup and Junior Federation Cup. She helped to start those teams.
Ruth Lay will go down as one of the all-time coaching greats in Georgia. And her style, well, it wasn't the kindly old grandmother out on the court.
Ruth was that strong personality that demanded a lot out of her players, and knew that for them to excel, they had to walk the tightrope, and Ruth made sure they did.
She would tell it like it is. She wasn't going to beat around the bush. If you didn't get to the ball, she'd say, get to the ball. If you didn't hit it right, she'd tell you what you needed to do. She was fair, but she was firm.
Ruth's style was very, it was a type of a tough love, and just pretty much, you know, if you were going through a tough time, just to work harder and get out there and improve your game.
Ruth Lay is in several Hall of Fames for her service to tennis, but she'll be known for her protégés' victories. She was truly a pioneer in women's tennis.
Ruth and Natalie Cohen were two of the ladies I think that for many, many years had a tremendous influence in tennis in Georgia. And as a female, that was a time when the leadership of the associations were mostly males. And the two of them had a tremendous influence on being the kind of women pioneers in tennis in Georgia.
Wanted to step in and help everyone that she could, and she helped so many young girls get more out of their tennis game.
Ruth Lay, a most deserving member of the Georgia Tennis Hall of Fame.